Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a very nice fall Wednesday evening here in the Chicagoland area. As we would say, or as the Three Little Bears would say, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just right. And we have a lot to talk about. Today is our Friday on the show, but we have another wonderful show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. Coming up on tonight's show, we welcome the founder and creator of the 11th annual Gary International Black Film Festival. And when we speak of Gary, we mean Gary, Indiana, as we say, our cousins just to the east of us. For those of us that live on the south side of Chicago, Indiana is just minutes away. And the city of Gary was known for many years of being a very vibrant steel town. Well, this 11th annual film festival is to pay homage to those that have come from Gary, have made a name for themselves, and have gone into the film industry. So we're looking forward to that conversation later on in the show. And it is cuddling season. Believe it or not, for those of you all that may be wanting to find a special cuddle buddy, you do need to get your cuddle buddy applications out and floating in the atmosphere. So tonight we're going to talk about some safety features you can do if you're doing online dating. And speaking of cuddle buddy, our wonderful co-host, Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And hello, my dear. How are you? Are you ready for cuddle buddy season?
I am, but I'm gonna have to vet some folks because I love to cuddle. I mean, there's just something very intimate and spiritual when you cuddle with someone that you really like.
Right.
So,
Yes. Is that how that all works?
That's how it works. That's how it works.
And how are you today, huh?
I can cuddle all night. I don't need to do anything. I can just cuddle.
Oh, all right. Very good. Very good. So how are you today? How's everything in your world?
I'm better. Was it Monday when we were no, not Monday. Monday. We were, on, and my back was not as best as it could be. It's better now, but I'm still taking applications for a masseuse as well.
You are still taking applications for the masseuse.
I am. Now, it would be nice if the masseuse can be my cuddle buddy. How about that?
Well, we had kind of talked about that, and I had asked you, is that kind of where you wanted that to go? And you kind of, alluded you did, you didn't, so I didn't want to overstep my boundaries. That's why I kind of thought you kind of wanted the cuddle buddy thing to go in that, or the masseuse to go in that direction. Because you were so defiant about a certain complexion, you were so defiant about a certain size, and I just kept saying, but ma'am, if you're in that much pain and you're in need of a therapist, I'm not understanding why the therapist would have to be so fine and so I just didn't get it. Maybe it's
he wouldn't have to be that. I mean, let me just be clear. He has to look good. I mean, I look at both of us. We look good, right? He can't be looking all, scraggly and stuff, call himself a masseuse. That's your brand, and your brand, you want to look and portray yourself as the best, right? So
right.
I'm not going to get no scraggly masseuse. Now, come on now.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because when I saw you say it and I said, well, oh my goodness, it sounded more like you were looking for a fabulous gentleman caller is what that was all, leading up to. And I was just trying to make sure my analogy of what you were describing. See, I'm good at, working my way around, efforts of admission, any kind of self-incriminating things, stuff like that. Yes. So I was just checking. I was just trying to make sure.
I appreciate you checking on me, Chat Day. It wouldn't be nice if the masseuse could be a cuddle buddy, but they're not mutually exclusive. But,
right.
It would be nice if that could happen.
All right. Well, today is National Plus Size Appreciation Day, and for those of you all that are a little thicker than a Snicker, for those of you all that have a little more bounce to thy ounce, for those of you all that are pleasingly plump, as we used to say back in the day, just a itty bitty little chubby there. Whatever it is, today is National Plus Size Appreciation Day. And I think that's really cute. I actually posted pictures today. I feel as if I'm celebrating, National Plus Size Day and all of that.
I think every day, any day above ground is a good day. So every day is National Plus Size Appreciation Day.
Very good. Debbie said you're gonna have to clean him up, girl. Right. Just get you somebody and clean him up. Right.
I don't know about that. I mean, see, you know what? When you're young, you can do that. You know, in my stage of life, like you should already be cleaned up. How about that?
Oh, I guess. Yeah. Well, I that's a whole nother show and conversation.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because I guess you said you better come ready, clean, all of that. Where some people you meet might need a little guidance, a little help, that type of thing. And I don't mind helping them if I feel they have great potential as a mate. That's just my.
Well, I have a saying about potential. Well, I don't have a saying. The wonderful Iyanla Vanzant has a saying about potential, but we'll save that for another conversation.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, so Debbie says embrace your sexuality.
Oh, sweetie, you have nothing to worry about that.
Right.
Chat Daddy can tell you on this side, he knows I embrace my sexuality with pride. I trust and believe that.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about tonight. October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Coming up in the next week or so, we'll have experts on to talk about breast cancer awareness. We want to remind every woman and even a few of the men, when was the last time you did a self-breast exam to feel for lumps? Men can contract or be diagnosed with breast cancer as well too. So please make sure you're doing what you need to do. Schedule your mammograms. If you're underinsured or have no insurance at all, there are plenty of free programs that offer mammogram screenings for those underinsured or no insurance at all. But make sure you go and get checked. And like I said, within the next 2 weeks, we'll have a couple of people on to talk to us about breast cancer awareness. Yes.
And that's a good thing. And I did get my mammogram last week, as a matter of fact.
Did you? Very good. Very good.
Because it's been almost 2 years because due to the pandemic.
Yes.
I couldn't go get the mammogram. So now I'm back on schedule.
Okay, very good. Well, we're happy to hear that. And as we always said, we hope the girls are in great condition. So there you go.
Me too.
Yes, very good. All right. Well, Illinois Department of Public Health officials reported 2,932 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19. Unfortunately, we had an additional 54 deaths related to COVID-19 as of today, Wednesday. There has now been 1,643,993 total cases of COVID-19 in the state of Illinois. This number would include 25,153 deaths in the state since the beginning of the pandemic. The statewide 7-day positivity rate from September 29th to October 5th is down to 2.6%. We're doing well because Indiana's positivity rate is like 9.4%. Indiana is really having a rough way to go with their COVID numbers.
Will we need to talk to Dr. Janet?
We'll probably have Dr. Janet on within the next 2 weeks. As of Tuesday night, 1,747 patients in the state of Illinois were reported to be in the hospital battling COVID-19. Of those patients, 425 were in the ICU, and 233 of those patients are on ventilators battling COVID-19. So that's the update. And as of Wednesday, over 7 million people in Illinois have been fully vaccinated. That now brings the total number of people vaccinated to 55 8.6% of the state's population.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. How about that? We're
getting there.
Okay, very good. All right, we got that out of the way. Anything you want to pop in the news? What did this I hear about Madam Tina Turner?
Madam Tina Turner. Well, we know she's already paid.
Yes.
But she about to get paid some more money.
Oh, really? What is Madam Tina doing? Is she private dancing or are
no? She's not doing that.
I know she's in her 80s and she's living in a foreign country with her husband.
Yes.
But I read today that Miss Tina is going to end up with a big chunk of change soon. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, Tina has become the latest legend to sell off her catalog after reaching an agreement with BMG. And we know Miss Tina, What's Love Got to Do with It, Private Dancer.
Better Be Good to Me.
Better Be Good to Me, and Simply the Best.
Simply the Best.
Simply the Best. She is 81, as you mentioned. She struck a deal with BMG she gave her share of all her recordings over 60 years. And here's the deal. The sale is like $50 million.
Wow, $50 million.
$50 million.
That's incredible. And so they will now have the ownership of her catalog. I noticed a lot of artists are doing this. Are people doing this because they're up in age and want to make sure that their music lives on or that their family end up getting royalties? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to figure out, like, why would one sell their catalog? Is Tina in need of money, or is this something that is definitely a win-win for her because of her age and things like that?
Well, I think she's, and this is a quote directly from the article. She says, I quote, "I am confident that with BMG and Warner Music, my work is in professional, reliable hands." So maybe she feels that, when she leaves here, she wants to make sure her legacy is intact.
Well, Preston feels as if it should be higher, that it should be a higher amount. Because now I thought I had heard 80 million, but you're saying it's 50 million.
I heard 50. Let me make sure. Because I saw the actual report on ABC World News Tonight.
Okay. Because here's the deal. 50 million is nothing to sneeze at. 80 million really would be good. But to me, it seems as if she's setting everybody up that if something, happens, her family will definitely live off her legacy forever. So, and Debbie just said win for her and her family. Right, exactly. So I think that's what it is.
Well, here's the deal. And I think Preston has a point here because other musicians have sold their rights, including Bob Dylan, who has thought to have shifted his back catalog to 300 million.
Okay.
Stevie Nicks in a deal reportedly 100 million, and Neil Young sold half of his back catalog for an estimated 150 million.
Right.
So that 50 million may be kind of low. I agree. It should be higher.
Because like Preston just said, her name alone is worth $50 million. I mean, when I heard the number, that's why I was like, wait a minute now, is Miss Tina in need, or is something going on here that we're missing? Because really, for the legacy that Tina Turner has created and that will be a part of she's rocking the Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to figure out, is that really a substantial amount of money for her? So we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Very good. What else you got in the news tonight?
You heard about that school shooting in Texas.
Oh my God. My heart just goes out to anybody, any parent that would get a text message or a call from their child saying that something is going on at their school. I just don't know what I would be able to do. It's heart-wrenching to me.
Well, at least 4 were injured in a shooting at Timberview High School in Arlington, Texas. The suspect, who is now, I think he turned himself in.
He did.
Yes, he's been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's a student. And unfortunately, Art, he is a brother.
I saw that. And a lot of people were saying that they found it so interesting that they were able to put that brother's name out there so quickly after this had happened. And it was a brother, you know what I'm saying? So it's sad. It really is. And you just don't know. You know, I was noticing on the news today that they were talking to a lot of mental health therapists. These children have been in very precocious situations during this pandemic. The coming back into classroom settings, they were saying that there are so many schools here in the Chicagoland area where massive fights are breaking out, that, you know, these kids are under a lot of anxiety and pressure. And, you know, the teachers who we had on the show with us that was saying you just couldn't imagine the amount of things that were going on in the background of homes while these children were remotely learning. So I don't know. I just think, and guess what? Trying to see a therapist or a counselor, they're booked now until May or June of next year.
I believe it.
That's one of the reasons why we've not been able to get Dr. Wanda on and other people. They've been just swamped.
They've been swamped,
in
right?
The evening where they can't reach out.
And they'll need therapy themselves after going through dealing with.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, you're right about that.
Wow. Well, here's a feel-good story. You know, 93 female veterans departed from Midway Airport this morning.
Yeah.
Operation Her Story. Now, you know, they've been showing the Vietnam, the veterans, the male veterans. Well, it's now time for the women veterans. And this was such a wonderful story. I saw it earlier this morning. I saw it again in the evening news, but they were going to Washington, D.C., and here's an interesting note. According to the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, there are approximately 7,500 women veterans currently living in our state, who served in the active duty military between 1940 and 1975.
Wow.
So among these, it's estimated that fewer than 3% have to date flown to D.C. with an Illinois honor flight hub. So, and then to date, more than 8,900 veterans who served in these wars have made this trip. Honor Flight Chicago. So they paid for everything.
Yes.
And the age range from, I think it was 63 to 105, these women veterans.
They actually interviewed a lady on the news today who was 99 years old. She was just as sharp. She was just as on point. She was a massage therapist in the war. So speaking of massage, but she was really a powerful young lady that they talked to today. And she's 99 years old. And she says, come December, I'll be 100. So, yes, very good. That's wonderful to see.
Yes, absolutely. And then, you know, you posted this story to me, and everybody's happy about this story. This is another feel-good story. You know what happens in the 3 wonderful holiday specials with Charlie Brown: Great Pumpkin, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Well, guess what, ladies and gents? It's coming back. You don't have to see, if you don't have Apple TV, don't worry about it, because you get a chance to see it.
So it's coming back to regular broadcast television?
It's coming back to PBS, actually. So if you have PBS, you'll get a chance to see it's the Great Pumpkin, the Thanksgiving special, and then, of course, the Christmas special. So you know, there was a lot of...
Any date of when the Halloween special will be on?
Let's see. It doesn't say here.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's going to be coming on very soon.
Yes, absolutely.
It's going to air. It's going to air this month. It didn't give an air date.
Okay, very good. All right, that is very, very good. All right.
Hooray.
Well, President Joe Biden is scheduled to visit Chicago tomorrow. As you guys all know, he was scheduled to come here last week, but because of the budget hearings, if I'm not mistaken, he postponed the trip. He'll be here tomorrow to resume his plans to tout vaccine mandates to encourage people. He's going to visit, I think, a factory and talk to the workers about the importance of getting vaccinated. So he will be here tomorrow. So make sure you guys welcome the president with open arms. And depending on what area he'll be in, I'm sure there'll be traffic delays. But to my understanding, I don't think he's coming into the downtown Chicago area. He is going to a suburban workplace to talk about his wanting people to get vaccinated.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
When is he? Is this his first time being in Chicago since he's been president?
No, he's been here before. He was here for something else. I can't remember, but this will be his second trip here as president. Yes, absolutely. Gotcha. Well, this coming Sunday is the 2021 Chicago Marathon race. It is the 43rd edition of the annual Chicago Marathon. It will be the first edition of the Chicago Marathon to take place after the start of the 2019 COVID-19 pandemic. The 2020 marathon was canceled as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The race will be the third of the 5 world marathons held in 2021. Matter of fact, Boston's marathon is the next day. So quite a few of those runners who do Chicago and Boston, they will be hightailing it out of here to get to Boston to be able to be there for the race the next day. Yes. So that's pretty much it. Now, here's the problem. Sunday, we're worried about the weather. We're expecting both humidity and high temperatures on Sunday. And perfect running weather for runners is in the 70s, 60s to 70s. And so they're worried now about heat exhaustion. They're going to have cooling stations. Adjust your schedule, ladies and gentlemen, for Sunday. You know, there will be street closures, diversions, things like that. The race, is one of the best races ever. I usually would go and support the runners on their race course, but it's going to be really good. But humidity is a big problem for runners when they're trying to keep their pace and their stamina. Debbie Green just said humidity is a killer. Yes, she's absolutely. It is. So we want to wish luck to all of the 2021 Chicago Marathon runners in the 43rd edition of the race. All right.
Okay.
Yay. What else you got?
Well, guess what? Guess a Detroit post office was possibly named for the Queen of Soul on Monday.
Wow.
Yes. So it will be called the Aretha Franklin Post Office Building. Is located 5 miles east of downtown Detroit.
Okay.
So the Queen of Soul, when you go to Detroit, you're going to say, I want to go to the Aretha Franklin Post Office.
Really? Now I wonder if the service will be any better. I wonder if they'll have Respect playing in the lobby when you walk in. I wonder if like all of the workers will look like Aretha looked in. Remember when she was in the Blues Brothers?
Yes.
Right. So I wonder if like all of the workers will have on house slippers and hands on their hips and be like, listen, don't give me no drama up in here now. Just get your mail and sit down. So I don't know, but yes, congratulations to that. That's really cool. It is.
And see, there's a process to do that. You just can't get your name on a post office building. And so interestingly enough, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence, who's in Michigan, she introduced the bill to Congress, and it was signed by former President Donald Trump.
Really? Wow. Okay, then. All right. Look, something he did for Black people. Right. Okay.
I'm surprised he ain't talked about that, but okay. But
right.
Yes,
so he's like, look, I gave Aretha Franklin a post office. What more do you all want? I gave the woman a post office. Look what I do for Black people. I gave post offices after that.
I've done everything for Black people.
Right. I named the post office after a Black woman, a famous Black woman.
Hey.
You know Aretha Franklin?
I met Aretha. You know, she was good to me.
Yes. So, well, thank you. Thank you, Donald Trump, for for naming a post office after Aretha Franklin. We really do appreciate that. I just know when you walk in the lobby, you better give everybody some respect when you walk in that post office. Amen. All right, what else we got in the news, my dear?
Well, I posted this to you, and it's been in the news and business. I won't be. Here's the thing: I won't be buying a Tesla at all.
Wait, what's going on with Tesla?
A former employee of Tesla. Check this out. We need to talk to him, even though somebody from California won that almost $700 million Powerball. We may need to talk to this guy. A former employee of Tesla has been awarded $137 million in damages after a jury agreed that he had been subjected to a racially hostile work environment.
Wow.
Let me give you the tea on this one. Former elevator operator Owen Diaz, who is Black, worked at the factory in Fremont, California, which employs about 10,000 folks.
Okay,
so
all right.
From 2015 to 2016, Diaz claimed he was regularly called racist names, and the Elon Musk company failed to act upon his complaints.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's just horrible. But now he can go back and say he really is the richest N-word in the place.
I don't think he would do that.
You don't think?
I want to ask you a question, because I have been, unfortunately, discriminated against. Have you been discriminated against in your career?
Oh, absolutely. Not once, but twice. Absolutely. Yeah. Not once, but twice. Twice.
Wow.
And yes, absolutely. And you've got to have a hellified legal defense firm team to help you. But absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And see, and this is the thing, I think our parents never wanted this for us, because they probably have been subjected to that.
Right.
But yeah, you would hope that you would never have been subjected to that type of treatment. But yeah.
Right.
And for a jury to award this amount, that means it was serious.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I believe in a legal system. That's why I believe, that things do work out for the greater good. But yes, not once, but twice. Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
So, and think about the number of other people who have been in that situation of being discriminated against.
Mm-hmm. And this is, Tesla. So, a lot of companies, I used to work for the automotive industry. So when I read it, I said, it doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. Doesn't. Not at all. But I still would go back, blow the horn, drive past and be like, I'm still the richest N-word y'all ever met. I just, you know what I'm saying? I probably would even go buy a Tesla just to mess with them. Right. Yeah. I
don't know if I can do that, but I'll be like, thank you, and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Yes. Okay. Very good. All right. I love you. What else we got in news today?
We were talking about Gene Hackman. We were talking about, William Shatner in 90. Well, Gene Hackman, who, he retired from acting.
Right.
But apparently he gave his first public interview in years to commemorate the 50th anniversary of The French Connection. Did you ever see that movie?
Many years ago, yes.
So he was talking about that. And he's one of those actors that you just, you like, okay, he's one of I remember, of course, The French Connection. I remember Enemy of the State, which he was with Will Smith. The movie about the 3 boys who were subjectively killed in Mississippi. He was, so he's that type of actor where you just like, of course he started Superman, right? With Christopher Reeve. Mm-hmm. You think he would never stop acting like Clint Eastwood. Clint just has a recent movie out and he's 90. So, but Gene was like, I'm done, but I will talk about The French Connection, because I haven't seen that movie in years. I'll have to now that he's talking about it, I have to rent it and see it again. But he's a really great actor. One of those actors you just really enjoy watching.
Wait, now who was the other one we were talking about? William Shatner,
right? Who's going up into space on Tuesday?
Okay, so wait. We were talking about that on Monday night, And I was saying that he was the oldest person to go into space, and how cool is that? All of that, right? And remember, I said to you, I said, well, keep in mind, you know, them Priceline commercials you looking at, that man, that was years ago. He was spray painted, all of that, right? The next day, he was on National Network Morning News talking about going to space. When one of the news team said, oh, by the way, you'll be the oldest person to go in space. He went ballistic. He was like, I'm not trying to focus on being the oldest person going into space. And then he said to the female anchor, what are you, about 50? I mean, it was so funny. He was taken aback that people were saying that he was the oldest person going into space. He didn't want that to be the case. Man, you 90. You it's history in itself. You're going into space at the age of 90.
He still probably think he's Captain James T. Kirk of Star Trek back in the 60s. That's what he made me think of that. He made that moment.
It was so funny because you could tell, and the news anchor people were kind of like, you know, of course, trying to play poker face, but they almost wanted to be like, no, Grandpa, you really are 90 and you going into space. So we'll just leave that where that's at.
All I'm going to say is, I'll say it again. He probably had a moment where he thought he was Captain James T. Kirk. And probably Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek was not 90.
Got you. Okay, because he showed, I was like, oh, no, he didn't. And I said, wow, we just talked about this last night on our show. So, okay, all right, very good. What else you got in news, my darling?
I think I'm newsed out because I mean,
you covered it all. Are you kidding me?
Well, hearing about the shooting, and then you know what's been going on, of course, with COVID and the women. I don't know if I have any more news stories. What about you?
Well, I have a great one before we run to our next guest.
Okay.
Actor, singer, talk show. Well, not so much talk show host, but game show host, Mr. Wayne Brady, is now going to help raise his ex-wife and her partner's new baby. So let me explain it before it gets weird to you. Okay, so Wayne Brady was married to his wife. They got separated. Well, when Wayne Brady's ex-wife got a new partner, the new partner helped to raise their daughter. So, you know, like the stepdad thing, or he was there to, you know, aid in helping raise the child. I get that. Well, now the ex-wife has had a baby with her new partner, and Wayne Brady is now going to step in and be like daddy uncle to the new baby. He's going to be a part of the raising of the baby, which I like that. I think that's cute. I think it's cute. When people can get along like that and there's no issues and problems in the relationship, I love that. Like my niece recently got a puppy, and you know, I'm like, look, we can co-parent with the little puppy. When you need a babysitter, you know, whatever, I can take the puppy, do whatever. So, I mean, I think in this day and age, because we always say it takes a village to raise a child. So Wayne Brady says he has no issues or problems with helping them. They are all very close, tight-knit. They still hang out with each other. And so now he will take, you okay?
I'm fine. Something just appeared like crazy. Okay.
Wait, what happened?
A screen just appeared. I'm like, what the?
It's not porn, is it? You right. It's not porn, is it? Okay. I was like, I was like, because the way you look. Right, I had to clutch my pearls there for a minute because the way you were looking, I said, oh, Lord, I hope, because they were just saying on the news that people all of a sudden have things pop up on their iPhones now. So, yes. So, okay, I just didn't want it to be, you know, okay, very good. All right, well, let's continue to move on into tonight's show.
Yes.
You sure now? We don't need to
I'm positive.
Now, it wasn't talking to you or anything, was
No.
Okay, all right. I'm just because you've been asking for a man 6'3" and chocolate. Okay, so I thought maybe the hackers was trying to get in to help you. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, for those of you all that are just, I can't even talk now. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a beautiful Wednesday. It is October 6, 2021. We're just weeks away from Halloween. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In the co-host seat tonight is our good friend, Miss Karen of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. We call her K. Renee. And tonight we have the honor and pleasure of welcoming to the show the founder and creator of the 11th annual Gary International Black Film Festival. And when we say Gary, we mean Gary, Indiana, the home of Michael Jackson and far many more great people. And one would say a film festival in Gary. Well, just to give you guys a little backstory about Gary, at one point, Gary was a city that was a major steel city. So they had I was telling a friend of mine last night, I said, man, I remember Gary having either a Sears or J.C. Penney's downtown, and they had a major downtown area. I had an uncle that worked in the steel mill, and we would go over to the restaurants over there. And so tonight, to kind of reminisce, go back down memory lane, but to also talk about how she is preserving the history and the legacy of an amazing city that we call our cousins just to the east. We have with us tonight Miss Karen Toering. She's a Gary native, and as we said before, the founder of the 11th annual Gary Black International Film Festival. And here she is. Her name's Karen. Your name is Karen. Hey, Karen.
I am so glad to be in the room with another Black Karen. We're going to take a few minutes and just talk about this Karen situation. I just hope part of this
I don't like. How the hell they gonna call Karen? Come on now. Couldn't they get another name? Every time I do that, I get real.
Do you know what? When I go to the Starbucks, I ask, when they ask you what your name is, I say Black Karen.
I love it.
Because they have to write whatever you say. They don't have to, because they had a whole little, thing about that too.
Right. I love it. The Black Karen.
Black Karen.
So let me ask you this, ladies. And Karen, it's so good to have you here tonight. And I do want to start off with that whole conversation. Kay Renee and I have talked many times about how frustrating it is that, when you were named Karen, you were a queen, you were special, all of that. But I guess now it's so sad that people think all Karens are the same. And ladies, please help us dispel that myth.
That is not true. Well, and I think, I don't know, Miss Karen, when you were born, but I am a lady of a certain age. I will just say that. And I think the name was popular when we were little. And when you think about I was born during the Great Northern Migration, where Black people were coming out the country and going to, manufacturing cities like Gary, Indiana, Detroit, Pittsburgh, right? That's where our people were going because the jobs were there. So, now I never got to have this conversation with my mother, who is passed, but what I, just piecing together my mother and her sisters and how they grew up and how they wanted something better for us, you know how that goes. They gave me a white sounding name, right? Because, when you moving on up, when you trying to, do whatever, knowing my aunties the way I know them, I suspect that was kind of what was afoot when I was named. But I was actually born in Boonville, Mississippi, and went to school and grew up in Gary, Indiana. But yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, similarly to you, my mom, who was born in the South, but of course came to Chicago, met my dad, and I came along years later. She loved the name Karen. She loved actually the name Renee because she always wanted to go to Paris. She said, I'm gonna have my daughter have a French name. But she said she always loved that name Karen.
Yeah.
And so it really, and I looked up as I've gotten older, I said, okay, the name Karen means to care for someone. And it definitely suits me because I care about everybody.
Caregiver.
But, what pissed me off when I hear, some people try to use my name in a very derogatory way. And I said, let me tell you something. My name is Karen. My mama's name which is a very unique name. Her facial expression comes out because it's like, no, we named you because you were royalty, because you came from us. So, and it's a beautiful name. It's not like Karin, Kryn, Caryn. It's spelled the way it's supposed to be spelled. Karen. Thank you very much.
I love you both. I do. I love you both. Well, ladies, look, Karen number 2, because we got Karen 1 next to me, and Karen number 2, our guest. Listen, ladies, I appreciate that backstory, because keep in mind, ladies, my real name is Arthur. So you know what I went through. Right. Hello? And when I was coming up and tell people, hi, I'm Arthur, they would look at me weird and different. And then the only Arthur I knew then was Arthur Prysock, I think was an actor or something. Right. So that's why I eventually changed it to Art, A-R-T. And people used to say to me, you ain't young enough for your parents to have named you Art. I was like, they were, eclectic, trendsetters, whatever. But yes, that's amazing. That's a whole conversation in itself about art names, the history of them, and all of that. Because Karen number 2 was absolutely correct about the time in which we were raised in. You having a white name meant a job, better opportunities, and all of that. So yes.
I'm so glad, though, that that our children and the generations after us rejected that, and so that's why you have all the beautiful names that we have now in the diaspora. Because we every generation does better. Every generation gets bolder. Every generation starts to believe the things that we've been telling our generations. I mean, and have that expectation that these things will manifest. And so it makes me very excited about y'all.
Oh, wow. Well, we love you already. Well, tonight you're here to talk to us about the 11th annual Gary International, not just local, Black Film Festival in its 11th year. Yes. And most people know Gary from the Jackson family. They know Gary from the longest running Black mayor, what was his name?
Gary Hatcher.
That's right, Gary
Richard Gordon Hatcher.
That's
and October 11th, the city of Gary is going to name a holiday after Richard Gordon Hatcher instead of Columbus Day.
Okay.
It's going to be Richard Gordon Hatcher Day.
Oh, nice.
Amen. So let's talk about you creating this film festival, and you're not even in Gary anymore, but you see the urgency of this legacy being preserved. So go right ahead.
Oh, absolutely. I always say, and you ask anybody from Gary that doesn't live there, we carry Gary wherever we go. So it's not even about where you live, it's about what you carry. And so part of, the even just the origin of the Gary International Black Film Festival is just a group of friends. I'm one of the founders, but there were 3 other local folks here in Gary that, we sort of took a dare, I live in Seattle right now, and I had the opportunity to work on the Langston Hughes African American Film Festival, which is Seattle's Black Film Festival. And I did that for a while, and I would come home to Gary and, talk about this Black Film Festival that I'm working on. And they were like, well, nobody will do that here. And so on a dare, I was like, I bet you we can do this here. And I bet you, and when we first, I think that was in 2012. I have to look at my own history because, it's been a minute.
Really?
But, when we first started, talking to people in the community about the Gary International Black Film Festival, the question we got most often was, well, why would we want to have a film festival in Gary? And I was like, why not?
Right.
I mean, we deserve, to have, amazing cultural events that bring people together, just like any other city. I mean, we are a city of creatives. We are a city of industrious people, so, and also a city of really hardworking people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we put the festival together. We're now in our 11th year. People, should we come back next year? And people are like, yeah, come back. So it's a 3-day event. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this year. Last year, we did the whole festival online because COVID. This year, we're doing a hybrid. This is our first hybrid festival. So we're working out the logistics of what it means to, you know, invite people out to a cultural event and keep them safe. So we will have one event in person, actually 2 events, actually 3. See, it's those days, you know. I don't know if I think you all produce events. So I'm in that, you know, that fog of, you know, 2 days before the event. There is literally a meeting going on in the room next to me. I was like, y'all, I got to go do this. I'll be right back.
Yes.
You know those.
We understand.
You know those. So we are doing a limited number of in-person events, and all of the 54 films that we have in the festival this year will be available online. So for example, Friday night, we're doing, there's a documentary called The Woodstock of House, which is literally, you know, telling the story of the birth of house music, and, you know, how,
oh my goodness,
you know, it was the domain of, you know, of queer kids. And, you know, it was this outsider kind of thing. And, you know, with Frankie Knuckles and the Chosen Few and DJs like that. Literally in this last COVID period, when we first got into COVID, who was saving our life? Who was saving our lives? DJs were getting on the internet and spinning records, and we were dancing in our kitchens. And so this film is really about that culture, you know, and it's, you know, Chicago is just a 30-minute train ride away from Gary. So, you know, we feel like Chicago's our big sister, or, you know, or we're their little sister or something like that. So House isn't, you know, House is not only in Chicago, House is Gary as well. So
that's right.
That's what we're doing opening night. And then on Saturday night, the other in-person event that we'll be doing is a drive-in movie theater. Again, trying to keep people safe, but also trying to bring people together. And so we'll be doing this interesting film called Red Pill, which is a horror comedy that was directed by Tanya Pinkins. And I know you may not know Tanya Pinkins' name.
I know who she is.
You know who Tanya Pinkins is.
Oh, I know
who that girl got grit. That girl got grit. And this film is basically, let me see, how could I describe it without giving a plot away? It's kind of like Get Out, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's horror, but it's modern day, you know, with people, you know, in the present. Again, a good time for people to just come together and experience something together. And then on, you know, and then we're doing, you know, a couple of workshops on Saturday. Those will be in person with Deon Taylor, who is from Gary, Indiana, directed Meet the Blacks, Traffic, Fatal. You know, he's got about a dozen Hollywood films under his belt, and he's from Gary, went to high school in Gary. So many people that are out there working in Hollywood right now. You would not believe how many people, Gary people, are actually working people in Hollywood. So this festival represents them, and it also represents that whole diaspora of, I just made my first film, people. And you know, when you get that, you know, official selection of Fill in the Blank Film Festival, it means a lot to filmmakers. You know, that's kind of that thing that is like, okay, you know, attaboy, you're doing good. So this festival is about that, about the people from Gary that make films and do work. And yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know that was a lot.
No, when it comes to planning something of this magnitude, this is probably something, you know, when the film festival ends this weekend, you probably have to get right back in the saddle and start working on 2022. Am I correct? How long does it take you to do this and put all of this? Because I'm impressed with the amount of things that you guys are offering when I look. So that's really incredible.
Mr. Chad Daddy, I'm asleep right now. You know, it does. You have to, you know, as you are working on, you know, I feel like everybody in the creative sector, like you, like Miss Karen, you know, you're always creating, you're always ideating, you're always generating ideas. We have this little inside thing that we say with the GIBFF is that no one is allowed to say next year while we are in active production. Because, you know, you try something and you go, okay, next year we're going to be like, no, you know, let's get through this year's festival. And literally on Monday, you're absolutely right. We start planning next year. And even with that, you're still meeting in the next room 48 hours before the event. But a lot goes into a film festival. But you know, everything from getting films submitted from around the world. This year we had films from, I want to say 5 continents and 14 countries. I think the number was.
Wow, very
wonderful.
You know, and these are all people that, you know, these are all filmmakers that just want people to see their film.
That's right.
You know, and so we have a group of people across the country. COVID has kind of made reviewing a little bit easier now because people are very used to watching films. And so we have lay people and industry people that all review these films that come in. So filmmakers can, you know, that's an opportunity for filmmakers to at least get some feedback on their film, even if we don't select it, right? And then they call that down into, you know, fighting so many films that they, you know, they really love. And those are the films that we screen on the festival, you know, and that's, you know, they call it show business because the show is just like the tip of the iceberg, but the, you know, it's all the other layers underneath that kind of make the business part of the work.
Very good. Well, Kay Renee, I know you want to ask your namesake Karen a question before we have to run. Go right ahead.
Well, first of all, Miss Karen, I just applaud you and your friends for putting this together. You know, when you mentioned, you know, Frankie Knuckles, one of my dear friends is his cousin. I want to let her know.
Right. We have a film about Knuckles.
Yeah, and her last name is Knuckles, so I'm definitely gonna let her know once we're done. And then Tanya Pinkins is a dolphin because I went to Whitney Young, so I was like, I gotta let my dolphin people know. Go on to Gary this weekend. So I just want to know, you have just one thing about Karen's, we have spirit, so we have passion. But who inspires you, Karen, to just say, you know what, I'm gonna live my life on purpose. I'm gonna live my life with praise, and I'm gonna live my life with all this passion. Who inspires you?
Oh yeah, I mean there are, you know what I'm gonna say, there's so many people, but you know, as you were speaking, Miss Karen, the faces that were coming to me were actually, you know, my community, my friends, you know, my children, you know, the people that I love and want to be around. Those are the people that, you know, that pour into me, that, you know, make it so that, you know, my life is better because, you know, they're a part of it. So not necessarily one specific person, but more about the energy that I get. Particularly, I am, you know, sometimes people think that I'm like a filmophile because, you know, I run a film festival, I'm a programmer, but actually I like sitting in a dark room with a group of people and having a shared experience, and that pours into me. And, you know, so I just want to keep having that feeling. And so in order to do that, I guess I had to put together my own film festival. You know what I mean? But that is really, you know, like I said, those people on the other side of this wall, they have that same feeling. I mean, we can't wait to get in the theater and watch this film and chop it up and talk about it, and, you know, talk about what we saw of ourselves in the films and things like that.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so Karen, I'm gonna tell you this. When I come to Seattle, I need a tour guide. I'm gonna need to go have a great cup of coffee, and I just need to like be in your space. I love your energy. I love who you are, and it's been a long time since I met somebody that looked like me that live in Seattle. So I'm just glad
we are there. Though I promise you, Miss Chat Daddy, we are there, and we are strong. And there's a whole community of incredible Black folk in Seattle, and so I love it when my streams cross. And, you know, having an online film festival allows my friends from Seattle, all my people from Seattle, to watch with all my people from Gary, and, you know, it makes it a fun time. It makes it a fun time. So
I'm coming to visit. I'm definitely coming to visit, and I got to hang out with you a little bit because I need to be in that dark room of vibing people. That's all, because I get it. I agree 100%.
And Seattle is so beautiful. I have not been. It's been over 15 years, but when I was there, I loved it because on a clear day, you can see Mount Rainier on a clear day.
Oh yeah, it's a wonder that people don't have accidents more often because it's so very present in the city. It's like our sisters, you know, watching over us.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
that's so beautiful.
I'm with you, Art. I'll be right there on the plane with you to see Miss Karen.
All right.
I'll be standing right there in baggage claim.
Yeah.
Right there in baggage claim.
We get more relatives on this show than anybody.
Okay.
Look, every night we get new relatives. So we really appreciate you so much. In closing, we're going to put up all the website information about the film festival. What do you want to say to everyone in closing?
Well, I want to let the folks in Gary know that, this is your film festival. So come out and celebrate with us. We're going to be very safe. So be prepared to get your temperature checked. We're going to be masking because we care about each other. Come out on Friday and Saturday, October 8th, 9th, and 10th to the Art House Theater on Friday, to IUN on Saturday, and watch us online all weekend at GIBFF.org.
Wow, there you go. How phenomenal. We appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule. We know you're in crunch mode. Have a safe travel into Chicago and Gary area, and we will have you back on. And then don't forget your two relatives that's coming to visit one day soon.
I thank you all both so much for having us, and thank you for helping us share the good news about the Gary International Black Film Festival.
Absolutely. We love you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Karen Toering, the founder and creator of the 11th annual Gary Gary International Black Film Festival.
There you go.
That's a lot.
There you
International,
go.
Baby. International. You got to keep that in mind. We love you so much, Karen. Have a beautiful night, and thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later. Oh, that was amazing. That was excellent. I love her. Yes. I do. We got to go see us some Karen in Seattle. How about that?
We do. Absolutely.
Yes, we do. That'll be that.
Have you been to Seattle before?
I have, but it's been years. It was more my flight attendant days. We used to have really nice layovers in Seattle. We also would have layovers in Anchorage as well too. And so that whole Northwest area is just really, really beautiful. Yes, Seattle is a wonderful place. And of course, that's where Starbucks was founded. So yes, some of the most quaint Starbucks shops are in Seattle. Yes. I mean, like the original quaintness.
I know.
Yes.
Like I said, it's been 15 years for me. But when I was there, I fell in love with it. And as I told Karen, I had a chance to see Mount Rainier, and I was like, I had a moment. I said, I need to come back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And some of the best seafood ever.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes.
Seafood is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Yes. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys. It's our Friday. We'll be back on Monday night with another great show. Tonight, we're also talking about the fact that cuddling season is right around the corner. Fall is here. Winter will soon be approaching, and people are in need of a cuddle buddy, a boo thing, a love mate, all of that great stuff. Did all that resonate with you? Does that all? Again, I just want to make sure wasn't nobody trying to get you on that screen. That was so funny. Somebody even sent a message talking about she froze. We didn't know what was going on. So long as nothing popped up that you wasn't expecting, because that's the way it looked. Karen, it really looked like
I wasn't expecting it. Art, I'll share that with you offline. Okay.
Because baby, it almost looked like a eggplant had popped up there for a minute. So we'll just talk about that later. All right, so I'm going to share some tips with you guys to help you navigate through your online dating experience. The number one thing that you guys need to do is make sure you find a dating site that is the most appropriate for what you are looking for. So let's say, for instance, you are a Christian and you want to only deal with other Christians. You may want to find more faith-based websites or dating sites to register on, to get on. If you are of a certain age, there may be certain sites. For those of you all that have fetishes, fantasies, proclivities to like certain things, there are sites that can accommodate that. With today being Plus Size Appreciation Day, there are sites for bigger, more voluptuous people. There are sites where people who love to go after more voluptuous people. So know what type of site you want to get on. Don't just get on Plenty of Fish or something like that because, oh, it says plenty of people on here. You need to narrow down what you're looking for and what demographic it is that you best want to present yourself to. And in presenting yourself, make sure you guys get new headshots, new pictures, new photos. A lot of you all are using your 8th grade picture as your dating site picture. A lot of you all have cropped your prom picture and you're trying to use that damn prom picture and you 60 years old. The one thing that I love about my hair being longer now, I have all new pictures of me with longer hair. My old dating pictures was short hair, fade, things like that. Now I have longer hair. I have a different look. And so that's what helps in making sure you present yourself. Another thing, do not lie in your dating profile. Tell the truth. Be honest and do not lie. Tell the truth.
All right.
You want me to say it for the folks in the back of the room?
Say it again.
Do not lie. Tell the truth. Be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess you've had a problem with this in the past.
Yes. There was a gentleman that I dated. He's deceased now, so I can say this.
So you can really tell that story, girl. Right. Don't you love that? They deceased now, so I can tell that story.
Nice looking, man of a certain age. We met, went out to dinner, and we clicked very well. I dated with him for like 6 months. But I asked him about his age, and he lied and said something. So one weekend when I was with him and he was showering, I happened to see his driver's license on the wall.
Was you snooping? Was you snooping? You were snooping. You were look, I'm gonna bust you out. You were snooping. Okay, go ahead. Yes, ma'am. All right, I'm gonna mind my business.
And I happened to see the driver's license and age. I wait to get out the shower. I said, what's this? He was like, but Renee, I said, all you had to do was tell me the truth.
So now was his driver's license a stone tablet? Like was it chiseled on stone?
No,
okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But it had his true age on there.
Okay.
And I said, we won't be able to see each other. I said, this, you might not see me after this weekend. And he was just really upset. I said, but you lied to me. He said, but I knew if I told you the truth, you wouldn't date me. I said, but you never gave me the opportunity to rise to the occasion. I don't like liars. That's right, Matika. I needed to know.
So the age thing was the issue there.
He lied about it. That's the thing, not the age issue. Because he was the oldest man I've ever dated. How about that? Now I won't say the age, but yes, he didn't look his age. He didn't.
Could he have been in Ripley? Could he have been in Ripley's Believe It or Not?
No, he wasn't in that. But he looked like he was 60 in his late 50s, early 60s. He's a little bit older than that.
Okay. A lot older. All right.
He took good care of himself. But he's deceased now. But see, he lied about the age. Don't lie about it. Don't lie.
Debbie Green asked a great question, but did you like him?
We got along well. Yes, I did. I did like him. But don't lie to me. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Okay. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth.
All right. Okay.
We were done. And that was the sad part. Because I did like him. He was very, worldly. He used to, and in fact, he used to work at La Rabida, was vice president of finance. We got along as far as our careers. We love MacGyver. How cool is that? Every time I would come visit him, we would watch MacGyver all weekend. You know,
oh boy.
so
Oh
I
boy.
really liked him, but he lied to me. So that tells you if you're gonna lie about your age, what else you gonna lie about? No.
Oh boy. Okay. That's why I date younger, honey. I know only way we gonna lay in the bed and watch MacGyver is we so tired from doing what we just did, and MacGyver just happened to be on.
No.
Right.
I didn't say we watch it all the time, but yeah, we watch MacGyver. Continue, Chat Daddy.
Continue. I will continue with tonight's show before it gets off the well. Okay, the next thing you need to do is not only be honest in your profile, but also use the correct wording in your profile, i.e., voluptuous, i.e., energetic, i.e., foodie, i.e., trendsetter. Try to use words that make you seem. A lot of people in their profiles, I like to play cards, I like to go shopping, I like to watch basketball. Try words like sports enthusiast. Try global shopper or world traveler. Try to use words that really make your situation seem as if you are really doing some things in your life. Some of y'all may just be bid whiz players. So I don't want everybody lying now, because then y'all come back on me. So right, this may not be the audience I need to be telling this to. Right, this might be a Good Morning America type of audience. Not that my audience don't deserve that type of advice, but right. Look, I'm getting myself caught up in a situation here. So, but yes, that's important. Your narrative that you put out there is the most important thing that you put it out there. Also, make sure you guys are using an alternative number. Try not to give people your number right away. Try to get you a Google number, or they even have second line number apps, things like that. You can even buy a disposable phone and use it as your dating phone. But, you know, especially for single women and things like that. And always, if you decide to meet someone, meet them in a public place, and never ever make your first date an extravagant date. Make the first date a very simple date, whether that's coffee, gelato, dessert, something like that, where you are just having a light situation. Don't ever have a meal, because if you do have a meal, you might drink some alcohol, and boy, you sure is looking good to me. And next thing you know, you back at home and your toes pointing towards the ceiling fan. And so, you know, all of that. And it's still not the right person. Here go, oh, I love Debbie. Dang, the old-fashioned way works. Yes, the old-fashioned way is the way you should get to know somebody in dating. You really should. And I stick to that principle every time. I do. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Any questions about my dating tips?
Oh no, you are on point, Chat Daddy. Everything you said is on point, because I've taken every tip that you've done when I was out there really dating. And I mean that. So
okay, very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's your dating tips. Be careful. Know who you're dealing with. As Kay Renee always says, do your research, do your homework. I was talking to somebody recently, and you better believe these smartphones are no joke. That person's Facebook profile popped up in my list of people you should know within hours of us talking on the telephone. By the time we had our second phone call, I was able to look through that person's entire life, and they were able to look through mine as well, too. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. These smartphones are very, very smart, and you're able, because it used to be where you could put a person's phone number in Facebook and find them and trace them.
Right.
Now it does not work like that for safety and security reasons. It works basically on algorithms. And that's what Debbie just said. Them damn algorithms. Yep. Them algorithms are a trip. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Because I'm telling you, me and that person, yada, 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 got off the phone, got up the next day. Boom, it recommended me and this person be friends. By the time we had the second phone call, I was able to look at everything that has ever happened in their life on Facebook. And they were able to look at my life too.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes. So, all right. Anything else we need to talk about with online dating? Did I handle that?
Oh, you handled it perfectly.
Thank you.
And I think at the end of the day, too, you want to be yourself.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to try to be something that you're not. Be who you are.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Because I think nowadays, even more so with the pandemic, you know, fakery and buffoonery that's out the door. Just be who you are.
Yes. Well, you know, I have to tell people that I deal with and date that, you know, Chat Daddy is one person. Art Sims is a completely another person. Chat Daddy is the authoritarian, the funny man, the person that delivers the message, the news, the things like that. But Art Sims really, quiet as it kept, could lay back and watch MacGyver. No, my show is Monk. So I can lay back and watch Monk and chill and relax and not, you know, and so I have to remind people, you separate the two people. You have to separate the two people. Yes, it's very hard for people to separate. You know, I'm sure, you know, I look at the relationship between Halle Berry and Van Hunt, the singer. And you know, I'm sure he's honored and all of that to be dealing with Halle Berry, but I'm sure he don't sit around all the time going, damn, this is Halle Berry. You know, you have to deal with her personality and he being Van Hunt, the singer, he's changed a lot in his looks and things like that. So, you know, it's just interesting. And when you are of a certain level, trying to find someone, you know, to match your sway, your swagger, is not the easiest thing on earth, especially the older you get.
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
All right. Well, with that being said, we wish you guys good luck. Be safe. Do the right things when it comes to finding whoever you need to find as your boo thing for this cuddling season. And we're going to pretty much leave it at that. Karen, do you have a delicious nugget of knowledge for us before we schedule my deal?
Of course. You know, today is Wise Words Wednesday. Here is the nugget for tonight. Optimism is the one quality more associated with success and happiness than any other. And that's, again, Wise Words Wednesday. #be optimistic.
And for more information about Madam Fabulous, you can go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com, karensnuggetsofknowledge.com for all the information on how you can connect with her. She really does give great words of wisdom. Darling, what is coming up on you all's show this Saturday?
Well, not only October marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it also marks Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we're going to have a lady talking about ways that you can keep yourself safe. You know, the one thing that you know about me is I am a survivor. And domestic violence, I think, has been more prevalent now in this pandemic than any other time because you're in the house. So we want to make sure that we provide tips, Kim and I, on how you can be safe, really safe, because that type of violence is, and it's not just, you know, physical. It can be emotional. It can be sexual. It can be financial. Violence is violence, no matter how you deal with it. And I think now, which I'm really glad that more people are recognizing that it can kill you if you don't take safety precautions on to keep you and your family safe. So we're going to have a guest to talk about that this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time with Candid Conversations with K, meaning Karen, and the other K, my podcasting sister, Miss Kim Coleman, a Sister Girl Speaks.
Very good. All right. So make sure you guys tune in, give these ladies some support. They do a wonderful job talking about really pressing issues that are affecting all of us, no matter who you are, where you live, and what your circumstance is. These are all conversations and topics that are of the utmost importance that they talk about. So very good. All right. Well, we have some things coming up. I don't know. We'll talk about all of it next week. This has been a great week. We apologize, but as you guys all know, Monday, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. I was corrected. It's called. I thought it was What's Up app, but it's WhatsApp. I was corrected. That is WhatsApp. they were all down. And as you guys all know, we broadcast via several of those platforms. And I'm still having trouble with one of the platforms back up and running. We're minus a platform this evening. So we're going to figure out what it is by the time we come back on Monday. But my phone still was acting crazy this morning when I got up. Things still caught up. And the funniest thing is people who are normally in my algorithm, like you and other people, I'm not seeing any of you all stuff.
Same here. I see it much later.
Now. Yeah.
And I see it much later.
Right. Debbie said we blaming it on Mercury retrograde. You think that's what it is? Mercury retrograde. I do too. I really do. All right. Well, Debbie, Watika, Rick, was he here tonight? Wamelda,
Preston,
Candace. Tammy, Candace, Betty. Hey, Betty Brewer. All of you all, we appreciate you so very much. Thank you for being a part of our audience each and every night. Without you, we could never do this show. Thank you to my wonderful co-host, Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Make sure you guys drop by, visit her, check out what she offers. She does a lot of wonderful advice. When you get a moment, please go over to YouTube, subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube. Very easy, very simple. It's free. You'll get a reminder that the show is coming on the air. Oh, we love you, Debbie. See you next time as well, too.
Bye, I think Debbie.
She was going to New York to see the Tina Turner play for her birthday. I may have to join Debbie in that excursion.
Happy early birthday, Miss Debbie.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I think Debbie might be a Scorpio like me. So, you know, Scorpio season is coming very soon.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Scorpio season is coming very soon. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so we'll see. All right. Well, on behalf of K. Renee and yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims. Yes, Debbie is the Scorpio, just like me. She just confirmed. We love you, baby.
Alrighty.
So I may have to go to New York with her to see. I'm your private dancer. Dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. That was one of my favorite songs.
I bet.
It was one of my. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
That I really wanted a career in the adult industry world.
You did tell me that. Yes, you did.
Yes, I really did want a career in the adult industry world. That's a whole nother show.
That's Chat Daddy After Dark, y'all.
That's Chat Daddy After Dark, right? That is true. I really did want to have a career in the adult industry. That's so funny. I just didn't want my mama at church bragging about. So what does your child do? My poor grandmama would have been clutching her pearls, talking about, Lord have mercy. Are you kidding me? Yes. So, yes, that's really what industry I would have wanted to go in. So, all right. We love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe. Do the right thing. As we always say on this show, wear your mask to protect yourself. We're still dealing with the COVID-19. Tonight, I have the Spread Love, Not Germs mask.
Let's see what mask I can put on the right way. Oh, I know what mask it's. I haven't worn this in a minute. Voila!
Oh, is that a snakeskin pattern? Mm-hmm. Oh, you look like a chameleon. Yes, that is beautiful, Karen Renee. Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, like you might, a little snake action going on there.
I'm gonna need that cuddle buddy real soon, though.
On behalf of Kay, Renee, and yours truly, we wish that you all get cuddle buddies this season. We'll be back Monday night at 7 o'clock. We love you guys. We appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful night. Stay safe. Wear your mask. And we out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Show. It's the real Chuck Daddy Show. It's the real Chuck Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.